Hey, Maddie, I just read this super interesting article. It says here that around 60% of brides lose weight before their wedding. Isn't that something else? A super majority of women don't have any trouble at all doing whatever they can to look presentable on their wedding day. So, what's your excuse, huh? Would you mind explaining to me what in the world is preventing you from losing weight? My God, Maddie, I swear you look like you've gained weight over the last few weeks. There's no way you're gonna fit into the wedding dress you picked out. It already looks like you're gonna rip it in half the next time you put it on. What are you gonna do about that unseemly figure of yours, Maddie?
I'm sorry, Adam. I tried to lose weight. Honestly, I did. And for the record, I did lose a few pounds. I just don't think I'm gonna hit my goal weight before the wedding.
You didn't try? Don't give me that. You need to get one thing straight. I am giving you the privilege of marrying me. That means that you need to do everything, and I mean everything in your power to be a wife deserving of a man like me.
You don't think I deserve you?
Why, did you think I was blown away by your feminine charm? You should consider it nothing short of a miracle that I even give you the time of day. I only started dating you because I was bored and you were available. But after a while, I found out that your dad was running a pretty successful company. I got to talking to him, and I figured that if I played my cards right, he just might pass the family business on to me someday. So I applied to work there and started getting in good with all the executives, but I knew that he would never give me the family business if I wasn't actually in the family, so I had no choice but to marry you. Do you get it now? The only reason I'm marrying you is because of your dad, not you. If not for him, you'd never be able to hope for anything more than a one-night stand with a guy like me.
I guess you're right. You are a pretty handsome guy.
Nah, I only look like that to you because your standards are so low. I'm used to dating women who are average or above. Now that I think of it, I've never dated a woman as homely as you before in my life. What can I say? I'm a superficial kind of guy. Yeah, I can own it. I just can't bear to be with a girl who isn't at least a 7, and you're a 5 on your best days.
Well, we're not married yet, so it's not too late for you to reconsider. Are you sure you'll be happy marrying me?
Are you sure you want to be asking me that question? What'll you do if I actually change my mind?
It's not that I want you to change your mind. It's just that, I don't know, you've changed lately, Adam. Back when we first started dating, you used to be such a gentleman.
Yeah, well, I had to get you on the hook somehow, didn't I? I do the same thing whenever I'm looking for a new girl. Then once I'm bored with them, I go back to being my usual self and they take the hint. But I gotta tell you, no one has ever taken the bait as easily as you did.
Come to think of it, I feel like you started acting even sweeter around me after I told you about my father.
I'm a man through and through, Maddie. We're hunters. That's the way it's been since ancient times. When I set my sights on what I want, that's when I really kick it into high gear.
From what you're saying, it sounds like you don't actually want to marry me at all. The only thing you're really interested in is my dad's company.
Would you knock off all the negativity? You don't need all those bad vibes making you even less attractive. I mean, you might as well be wearing a big green neon sign over your head that says, "No self-confidence." Even if you suspected that were the case, you never actually come right out and ask the question. And for the record, if your dad's company was the only thing I was interested in, then I wouldn't bother marrying you. Look at me! You know that I've never been hard up for pleasant company on a lonely night. So come on, chin up. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I never really felt like I was a negative type, and I don't think I'm lacking in self-confidence either.
Really? Could have fooled me. Anyway, I picked you out of all the other girls in the world, didn't I? That alone should give you a decent self-confidence boost.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Thanks for that.
But let's not lose sight of the main point of the conversation, okay? You need to do something about your waistline and fast. I'm not saying you have to go out and get liposuction, but at the very least, I think a crash diet is in order.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Hey, where did you go, Maddie? What are you thinking, running off at a time like this? We're in the middle of our wedding over here. How can we have a wedding with no bride?
Incredible. Simply incredible. You really have no idea what a terrible thing you just did to me was, do you?
Huh? I don't get it. Oh, wait a second. Are you mad because I said that I made the worst mistake of my life proposing to you during our vows? That can't really be what you're upset about, right? That was just a joke. I was trying to get some laughs. And it was a smashing success. Didn't you hear everybody laughing? Now come on back here so we can say our I do's.
If you think I'm coming back to marry you, then you have a lower IQ than our wedding cake. The wedding is off, you jerk.
Whoa! Now, Maddie, let's calm down before you go and say something you'll really regret. Seriously, get over yourself. I didn't do anything that bad. You're not gonna make me come and find you, are ya? I don't feel like playing hide and seek right now.
I'm not hiding, I'm just getting changed. Once I get out of this dress, I'm going straight home. Oh, and the wedding isn't the only thing that's off. My parents are livid over what you did in there. Our whole engagement is off. You and I are through. We'll be sending you the bill for the cancellation fees. Hopefully, when you see the number on the bottom line, you'll realize just what an idiot you've been.
I don't believe this. You're really serious? What are you getting so mad about? A little joke? I tell that kind of joke all the time.
You know, your appalling inability to read the room is the reason no one likes you.
Excuse me?
You really do think you're the coolest guy around, don't you? That's the way you talk about yourself anyway. You're incredible and I'm trash. That basically summarizes most of our conversations these days. Well, you're incredible, all right. Incredibly cringe. I'll never forget when you said to me, I'm a man through and through. Yuck, who actually talks about themselves like that? Especially when all you ever do is make excuses and complain. What part of that is manly, huh? God, it feels so good to get this all off my chest. Like, you think you're the only one whose choice matters? Did you ever consider my choice? If I didn't choose you, then you never would have gotten hired into my dad's company. You never realized that, though, did you? Today was such an eye-opener for me. Now I see you for what you really are, and I will not marry any man who treats me like you do.
Hey, you can't talk to me like that. You didn't choose me. I chose you. And don't you ever forget that.
Yeah, I'm actually in full agreement with you. You chose me, but now I've decided that I'm not going to choose you after all. I don't need or want you in my life anymore. My mother is in tears, and my father's face is beet red with anger right now. Your parents just came by to apologize for you, but I really don't care about what they have to say.
What? What's going on? Why is everyone going crazy about this? It was just a simple joke.
I have no idea what you think a wedding is, but for me, a wedding is a sacred event. It's certainly not the time for such lowbrow jokes as what you said during our vows. I'd rather be single forever than marry a guy who thinks it's okay to talk about his bride-to-be like that.
What do you want from me? It was a freaking joke. I didn't mean it. That's why it's a joke. What's the matter? Don't you like jokes? Why do you have to make everything so difficult? Look, I don't want to deal with your emotional breakdown, all right? Just get back here so we can finish the wedding. I'll apologize all you want when we're finished.
You want to know how much you suck? All of your friends are even coming to apologize to me. They are completely fed up with you.
What? Why are my friends talking to you? And what are they apologizing to you for?
They felt bad for laughing at what you said during the ceremony. It's one thing for you to talk like that when you and your buddies are playing video games or hanging out at the bar, but this was neither of those, and they realized that. Once they thought about it for a second, they saw that it was wrong to be laughing along with you. How did a creep like you end up with such decent friends?
No way! They actually said that to you? I didn't do anything wrong, though!
Oh yeah? Let's refresh your memory of what you said to me. My ex-girlfriend had an incredible body, and she was the hottest woman I've ever been with. And now look what I've gone and done to myself. I chose to marry a woman who couldn't even drop a few pounds before her wedding in order to fit into her dress. And as a result, her shoulders look like the chocolate coming out of the fondue fountain. And if you think she looks bad dressed, imagine how bad she looks when she's naked. Every time I look at her reminds me of what I lost when I broke up with my ex. I guess I'll just have to close my eyes and imagine she's my ex, just like I do whenever I'm in bed with her. So exactly what part of that was the super funny joke that I should be okay with? Your friends said they were utterly disgusted with you.
No, they didn't. I know they thought it was funny. I mean, that's the joke. The joke was that I say all of that bad stuff about you and then say that I chose you anyway. I was saying I like you so much that I'd be willing to put all the other girls behind me. That's nothing you should be getting this mad about.
You said you wish you were marrying your ex, right? Well, then go ahead and call her over to the chapel. See if she'll take you. I guess you're still bitter over the way you broke up, or should I say the way she broke up with you. And after what just happened, I have a pretty good idea of why she did that.
Hey, it was mutual when me and her broke up.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Anyway, all of your friends are siding with me on this. I think it's pretty clear that you are the one who's in the wrong. We are officially breaking up. I am not marrying you today or any other day. You can also forget about your job working for my dad. Oh, and by the way, my parents used their connections to get your folks a good deal on building their new house. My dad's telling them right now that the contractor is going to charge them the same price as they would any other client.
Hey, come on! You don't need to go that far! You're really gonna do all this over one teensy tiny joke?
What is it going to take for you to realize that what you said was not one teensy tiny joke? Your parents are in the process of begging on their knees for my dad's forgiveness, but naturally, my dad is never going to relent. They're persistent, though. Could you maybe get them to give up? You could always take responsibility by buying them a new house. Well, maybe that wouldn't work out after all, given your total lack of business acumen. I'll bet you'll have a hard time finding a job that pays enough to afford something like that.
Maddie, please, I'm sorry, okay?
And there it is, the first apology I've ever received from you. It's a pity that you're only apologizing in a desperate attempt to save your skin. You're not going to get out of this that easily, though. No, you need to live with the consequences of your actions for the rest of your life.
Good morning, Maddie. It's me, Sean, from yesterday. I wanted to apologize again for everything that happened. And I also wanted to tell you that we all talked it over, and we're not going to associate with him anymore.
Hey, Sean, thanks for messaging me. I want to tell you sorry, too. You took all the time out of your busy schedules to come and celebrate our wedding with us, only for it to wind up in a total debacle.
No, please, don't apologize to me. We're part of the reason it became a debacle. We never should have laughed at that joke. My God, we're not middle schoolers anymore. Just thinking about how I must have looked laughing at such a low-brow joke. I'm so embarrassed at myself. And that got me thinking, that's basically how Adam acts all the time. We're all sick and tired of it, and we're not going to put up with it anymore. I mean, this isn't even the first time he's done something like this. A while back, he just randomly started roasting a girl at the table next to us at the bar. We tried to tell him to cool off, but he just kept going until the girl ran out of the room crying. I should have cut him off then and there. He's never going to change. I mean, he's even willing to talk about his own bride like that? It wasn't the time or place to be joking around, and what he said about you wasn't a joke, it was just cruel.
I'm glad you've had this epiphany, but really, it's okay. Adam's a big boy. He can take responsibility for his own actions. You already apologized for laughing, so you don't need to apologize for his actions anymore.
No, we totally do need to make this right. This isn't the sort of thing that can be solved with just an apology. We're all aware that the way we reacted to Adam during his sophomoric little speech caused you a lot of pain. We thought about what we could do to make this right, and we have a proposal for you.
A proposal? What kind of proposal?
Oh my God, Maddie! You're hot? Like you lost a ton of weight! What happened to you? I didn't even realize it was you at first!
I don't have the time or patience to have this conversation with you. You owe me money, and I expect you to pay it soon. That's all I wanted to say to you. Goodbye.
Not so fast! You owe me an explanation! How did you lose so much weight so quickly? Was it for me? Did you lose all that weight to impress me and get me to take you back?
I see some things never change. You're just as dense as you always were. I'm the one who left you. You are not in a position to take me back.
Then why? Tell me what happened.
It's simple, really. I started going to the gym. Your friends put their heads together and came up with a diet and exercise program for me. One of them's even offering me his services as a personal trainer free of charge. They felt so bad about laughing at your speech at our wedding that they felt like they had to do something. And most of what they know is video games and working out, so they decided to use their knowledge on the latter to help me out. Seriously, how did you ever get those guys to like you? They are all way nicer guys than you.
Wait, do you mean Sean? It's gotta be him. He's the only guy I know who's a personal trainer. But he's really doing it for free? He's one of the most sought-after trainers in the city. All the big shots hire him. He usually charges over $100 an hour.
He's offering me a special rate, and the rest of your friends are covering that for me. But it's quite a sacrifice they're all making for me, so I thought I owed it to them to do my best. I followed all of his diet advice and went to his gym 4 times a week. The weight started falling off right away. I can see why he's so successful.
Well, hey, that's great. I'm happy for you. I sure have great friends, don't I? And just think, if you get back together with me, you can hang out with those guys as much as you want. Isn't that what you want, to get back together with me?
Get over yourself, you narcissistic freak show. You think I want to get back together with you? You're the one who's desperate to get back together with me. I've heard everything, you know. Every single one of your friends has cut you off. Isn't that right?
Well, yeah, for now. They'll come back around eventually, though.
I wouldn't count on it. They're thoroughly disgusted with you. And it's not just about the wedding, either. It turns out they've all lent you money at some point, and you've never paid any of them back. They've only kept inviting you to stuff because none of them realized that everyone else hated you. They said they're just going to forget about your debt and take the opportunity to walk away from you.
Why are you talking to my friends so much anyway? The money I've borrowed from them has nothing to do with you. Butt out!
You really are a creep, you know that? You used a fake sob story to borrow money in secret from all of them, making sure they never told anyone else. That way, they all felt too guilty to turn you down or stop hanging out with you. Do you get now how much everyone hates you? They would rather lose out on the money they lent you than have to deal with you anymore.
Hey, give me some credit. I was gonna pay them all back, eventually. If I kept moving up in your dad's company, I would have had the money in no time. That's why I thought I'd be safe to borrow so much. But now my plan is ruined thanks to you.
That's no different than borrowing money to play the lottery. And speaking of my dad's company, if you really wanted to get in his good graces, don't you think you should have been a little bit less of a pompous jerk? You acted like you already owned the company before you even started working there.
Well, I would have if you just played along.
Oh, and one more thing. I heard something interesting about your ex-girlfriend. She was a stripper, wasn't she?
Well, yeah, originally, I guess, but how did you find out about that? You didn't talk to her too, did you?
No, your friends told me all about her. And what do you mean originally? Did she quit stripping in order to be with you?
No, She had some personal reasons that kept her from being able to quit, but we were dating, honestly. We hung out all the time when she wasn't working.
Personal reasons? Such as?
She had to work to support her family. Her parents and siblings didn't have much money, so she kept working at her club, but we dated in her off time.
Ah, the old stripper with a heart of gold trope. Tell me, did you give her a lot of gifts, money, jewelry, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, I'm a man, aren't I? And she was my girl. I wanted to support her in any way I could. And she was always really, really grateful. She felt so guilty about taking so much money from me, but I was glad to give her whatever I could.
Wow, I gotta hand it to your stripper girlfriend. She really understands how men like you work.
What are you trying to say, huh? I'm not like all the other guys that go to the club to give her money. She was serious about me.
Right. So tell me, if she was so serious about you, why did you break up?
That's what I want to know. One day she just disappeared. She said one of her family members was sick and in the hospital, and she needed to save up enough money to pay for their medical bills. That's why she was working so hard at the club. But then one day she stopped answering my texts and quit her job at the club. I went around to all the hospitals in the area to see if maybe her family member was in one of them. But wherever I asked, they always told me they couldn't disclose patient information. I'm really concerned about her. I'll bet that she felt guilty for accepting all the gifts I gave her, and it just became too much for her to bear.
Nah, I don't think she felt guilty or anything. Girls like her aren't capable of feeling guilt. She probably just used you for all she could and moved on to her next mark.
Wait, are you saying you think she was lying to me? No way. She would never do that.
You can go ahead and believe her story if you want to, but me and all your friends shared a pretty good laugh about it when they told me the story.
This is no laughing matter. We were in love. What we had was real. You all don't know anything about the time we shared together.
If you want to believe her story, go ahead. Whatever makes you happy. But that's why you had to borrow money from your friends, right? You ran out of money and she kept asking for more?
She didn't ask for it. I willingly gave it to her.
And then she ghosted you.
She must have had a very good reason. Man, she was so hot. But now look at you. You're just as hot as she was. I know we had our differences in the past, but I think we can make things work out.
Oh my God, you are so transparent. Sorry, but I'm not interested.
Come on, don't be that way. If you won't marry me, could you at least lend me some money? Your dad fired me. My parents are mad at me. My friends won't talk to me. I'm completely broke. I've got no savings, nothing to live on. You're the only one I can turn to. I'm sorry for everything I did, so please, can't you cut me a break?
You're incredible as always, Adam. Do you actually think I would say yes? I don't know whether I should laugh at you or pity you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to laugh at you. Get lost, loser. I guess Adam wasn't exaggerating when he said he was broke. With no friends or family to help him and a terrible credit score, the only people who would lend him anything were loan sharks. Apparently he didn't pay them back either because I heard that he was seen being dragged into a black panel van. So I don't know where he is right now, but wherever he is, I hope it really, really sucks. As for me, I'm doing great. I'm healthier and happier than ever before. And I'm not saying I lost weight in order to get some male attention, but it is a very pleasant side effect. Your younger sister's wedding? There's absolutely no way you're going. Just think about it. Who's going to handle all the housework while you're away? The house doesn't run itself, you know. But it's only for one day, Eva. Please, let me go outside for this. It's extremely important to me. I promise you I'll return by the evening and get back on track quickly. Everything will go back to how it's always been. What? You're going to be gone for hours? Who's going to handle the cooking, the cleaning, and all the laundry that needs to be done? I was thinking if it's all right with you. maybe you could? Maybe I could. What? Why did you bring me up, Lily? You're not really implying that I should do any of this, are you? You know that's completely inappropriate. Oh, but of course you wouldn't say that. I must have misheard. You wouldn't dare say something so disrespectful to your own mother-in-law. No, I didn't mean to disrespect you at all, but it's really just for a single day. So you think it's acceptable to make your mother-in-law take over for one day because it's convenient? Do I really need to beat you up again for you to understand how things work around here? No, that's definitely not. I don't want that at all. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was being disrespectful. That's what I thought. Then stop arguing and just do as you're told. End of discussion. But Peterson said that I should go to the wedding and I shouldn't miss it. Listen, Peterson is an incredibly kind person. Trust me, I know him the best because he's my own son. Sometimes he says things he doesn't truly believe, just to be kind. He's too nice for his own good. Besides, Peterson's currently away on a business trip, so he's not fully aware of the situation at home right now. I'm sure that he would change his mind if he was. What do you mean by the situation at home? Well, of course it's that you, Lily, have been slacking off and not doing what you're supposed to do. You're incredibly irresponsible. The other day, you even fell asleep right in the middle of doing housework, lying on the sofa. If Peterson saw you being this lazy, he definitely wouldn't be able to say such kind and supportive things to you anymore. Eva, I'm afraid you're misunderstanding. I wasn't feeling well that day. I had a high fever, which is why I was lying down on the sofa. Oh, right. And after that, you ended up passing your cold on to me. You really are a curse to this family, aren't you? Nothing but bad luck follows you around, affecting everyone else, too. You should be grateful that we're even allowing you to stay in this house instead of throwing you out. Okay, Eva, I understand. As someone who's been given the privilege of staying here, shouldn't you be prioritizing housework over anything else? I've had enough. Don't ever come to me with such an arrogant request like that again.
Sis, you really can't be thinking this is okay. You need to stand up for yourself. You're seriously telling me that you're not coming to Stacy's wedding just because your mother-in-law told you not to?
I know, Jay, but that's because, well, my mother-in-law's really strict and she doesn't allow much, especially when it comes to things like this.
Strict? This is beyond strict, it's controlling. You need to wrestle yourself out of her grip. She's evil. What kind of a person, let alone a mother-in-law, refuses to let someone attend their own little sister's wedding? That's insane. What does Peterson say about all of this?
About that, I haven't told him about this at all. He thinks that my mother-in-law and I are getting along just fine with no issues.
What? Why on earth wouldn't you tell him? He'd definitely support you in a situation like this. He's such a kind and serious person, so I know he'd stand by you if you told him, and yet you're not letting him help you.
But he's in the middle of a huge project overseas, so I don't want to burden him. I'm sure he's under a lot of pressure. It's fine, as long as I can endure it myself. Everything will be okay.
Lily, this is honestly getting ridiculous. Don't you ever think about living your life for yourself, even just a little? I'm sure Peterson also wouldn't want you to be going through something like this.
I know that, but I really don't want to drag him into this situation. I don't want to bother him with this. It's okay, I'll handle everything by myself. I'm responsible for solving this without causing any trouble for him.
That's impossible. You're the most timid person I've ever known. How are you even planning to solve this? You can't talk back to her, can you? I'm worried for you, Lily. If you just let me handle it, I guarantee you it'll make things so much easier.
No, Jay, I'll stand up for myself this time. I've decided that I'm definitely going to Stacy's wedding. I can't miss such a big event just because Eva doesn't want me to go.
So you're really planning to handle everything on your own? Peterson, Stacy, and we'd all gladly help you if you just told us what you need. We're all family. We'll do whatever it takes to support you. Trust me, Lily, you don't have to carry this burden by yourself.
No, it's okay, Jay. I promise. I'll take care of it myself this time. I don't want to cause trouble for anyone else. Sorry for making you worry about all of this. I'm being such a bother.
If that's how you feel and you really want to handle this by yourself, then I'll leave it up to you. But please promise me you'll come to the wedding. Stacy's really looking forward to having you there. Plus, it's rare for the three of us to be together at the same time. It'll be special for all of us.
Of course, I'm looking forward to it too. I promise I'll definitely be there. You can count on it.
If anything happens or if you need help, don't hesitate to tell me, all right? I'm always here for you.
Yeah, I will. Thank you, Jay. Eva, my bag is completely soaking wet, and I'm not sure how this even happened. What's going on here? Did you do something to it by any chance?
Why are you acting so clueless, Lily? Did you completely forget what I told you earlier? I told you very clearly that you're not going to your sister's wedding, didn't I? Besides, I asked you countless times who's going to handle all the housework around here while you're away at the wedding.
About that, I actually decided to hire a housekeeper to take care of everything, so there's no need to worry about doing it by yourself, Eva.
What? You're going to push all your own responsibilities onto someone else? You really are a spoiled brat, aren't you? It's honestly so laughable that you think this is okay. I wonder what Peterson would think if he knew how idiotic and helpless you really are. After all, he doesn't like spoiled people, you know. He's always telling me that. Oh, I can't wait to tell him.
But I really want to attend my sister's wedding. It's such an important day for her, and I can't miss out on it. Most importantly, both my sister and my brother are waiting for me. I can't wait to see them, and this is all really important to the three of us.
I see. Well then, if you want to go there so badly, why don't you take that soaking wet purse with you to the wedding? Oh dear, it looks like the cash gift for the bride and groom might have gotten wet as well. Oopsies. I guess you'll just have to prepare a new one, won't you? Gosh, what a bummer. Well, off you go now. If going to this stupid wedding is what you really want, then so be it. That reminds me, there's actually something I want to give you. Hang on, will you?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you should have seen your face! You looked so shocked when I gave you your surprise. Why did Peterson even marry such a timid woman like you? You look like you're scared of your own shadow.
Eva, why would you do something like this to me?
What? You really don't understand what's happening, do you? It's pretty straightforward if you think about it. You're prioritizing your sister's wedding over keeping up with the housework, so I poured ice water on you. If you really want to go to the wedding, then go just like that. Nobody's stopping you.
Okay, fine. I guess I'm going. I can't afford to be late to my own sister's wedding, so I suppose I don't have any other choice.
Oh, so you're going through with this, Lily. Don't you ever think about coming back here again. As for Peterson, I'll just tell him that you left the house with another man. That should cover things nicely.
Please, I'm begging you, don't say that. That would be so awful for him. He's in the middle of a really important project, and I don't want to disturb him right now.
I, as his mother, know what's going on in his life better than anyone else, so don't try to interfere with our relationship. Peterson never deserved a woman as lazy as you. Now go ahead and attend that wedding of your sister's, all while you're looking ridiculous.
Hello? I know you're in there, so open the door already, lady. I've been waiting out here for a while now. You're making things harder than they have to be.
Hey, who are you? I don't even know you. Quit trespassing on my property and get out of here. You're the one who's been banging on my door nonstop, aren't you? Why are you doing this? Hold on a second. How do you even know my phone number? You're freaking me out.
Just open the door, will you? I don't have all day to stand around out here. You're wasting my time.
I'm not opening the door for someone I don't even know. I'd be putting myself in too much danger. If you really want to do this, then I'll call the police on you now and get you arrested. If you don't want that to happen, get on out of here.
Go ahead, call them. Just know that I've got solid evidence to show that you've been abusing your daughter-in-law. I even know you poured ice water on her in the dead of winter when she did nothing wrong. If you're okay with me reporting all of this to the police, then go ahead and call them. I won't stop you because I know you're going down with me.
What evidence are you even talking about? Don't lie to me. I didn't drench her in ice water. I didn't do anything. She dunked herself in it. It was all her fault.
You can't fool me, Eva. I've got everything on video. There's no point in lying and pretending that you didn't do it.
You have it on video? When did you even record me?
I was worried about my sister, so I snuck into your backyard and watched everything through the window. Sure enough, you were treating her horribly, so I made sure to record everything for evidence. I won't let you get away with it this time.
You saw your sister? You mean Lily? Wait, you must be her brother, right? Oh, I've heard all about you. You're the town's most infamous delinquent, aren't you? I already hear rumors about you getting in trouble with the police.
I prefer you call me the town's top rebel rather than a delinquent. Sounds a lot cooler, don't you think?
It doesn't change the fact that you're a complete lowlife who's always causing trouble for everyone. You're always up to something bad. Sneaking into my backyard like that is a clear case of trespassing, and that's a serious offense. Not only that, but recording me inside my private property without my permission. You're a criminal for doing something like that. You're in big trouble.
Go ahead and sue me if that's what you want to do. I'll take full responsibility for my actions. But what I've done doesn't change the fact that you're a criminal yourself for physically abusing my sister.
What? But I didn't. Oh, you're just lying to me and trying to get me into a mess.
Well, whatever. Deny it all you want, but I won't ever believe you. Can you open the door already? I don't have time for this.
Of course not. There's absolutely no way I'm letting a strange man inside, especially someone like you. Do you seriously think I'm going to allow you to just waltz into my home? Just tell me, why are you even here in the first place? What do you want from me?
I'm here to teach you a lesson. You're truly an awful, arrogant person. You treated my sister horribly, didn't you? I hope you're ready to face the consequences. Forget about living a normal, peaceful life from now on, understand? Not one person will be on your side after this. Not even your family.
What's your goal here? Are you seriously threatening me right now? If you even lay one hand on me, it is going to be considered physical assault. You know that, right? I'll charge you as much as I can.
Don't worry, I'm not going to hit you at all. I don't have a hobby of hitting old women, even if you consider me to be some evil delinquent. I won't hurt you, I promise. It's just that there's somewhere I'd really like you to come with me. It's important that you do.
No way, I refuse to go anywhere with you. Do you think I'm out of my mind? I'll call the police if you don't leave me alone right now. I am serious. I have my phone ready right here.
Go ahead and call them. I'm fully prepared to take responsibility for what I've done. You can atone for your crimes too, so if you call the police now, it'll be convenient, like killing two birds with one stone.
Ugh, what is your problem? Why are you doing this to me?
See, you can't call them, can ya? I knew it. You don't have the guts to do so. You're an absolute coward. You know exactly what you've done. There's no point in pretending or acting innocent anymore. I hate everything about you. You make me sick. You need to face the consequences of hurting my sister like that. I won't let you escape now.
You're scaring me. Leave me alone already.
I don't care one bit about how you're feeling right now. Just come outside already and quit wasting my time. We need to settle this. Besides, you can't stay there forever. You don't even have the right to stay in that house anymore.
What? But this is my home. How could you say something like that? I've lived here for years. I belong here.
No, that house was built by your late husband. It was never truly yours to begin with. And now the one paying off the mortgage is Peterson, not you. You're not contributing anything to this property. So you have no right to live there anymore. You're only staying there out of convenience.
Sure, the house is under Peterson's name now, but does that even matter? Peterson is my son. He would want his own mother to live here. I know he does. It's only natural to.
Actually, no, he doesn't. I just had a conversation with him and he's very clear about his feelings. He told me that he wants you to leave the house as soon as possible. He's very determined to kick you out.
What? Oh, that can't be true. You're lying. There's no way that my precious son would want to throw me out of our house so suddenly. Oh, wait a second. I just got a message from Peterson. He's telling me to leave the house. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, there's no way he would say something like that. It doesn't make any sense. What did you say to him? How dare you? You must have twisted things or lied to him somehow.
Actually, I didn't say anything to manipulate him. I simply showed him the video I recorded. You know, the video of you slapping my sister, soaking her purse with water, and then dumping ice water on her?
What? What you've done is so despicable. How could you show him something like that? He wasn't supposed to see it at all.
Gosh, this is unbelievable. You're calling me despicable? You're the absolute last person I want to hear that from. Anyway, what exactly did Peterson say after seeing the video? Tell me what he told you.
He told me to leave the house immediately, that I don't deserve to live here anymore. Oh, there's no way he'd say something like that. It just doesn't seem possible. My son has always been so sweet to me. Oh, I think I know why this is happening. His phone number must have been hacked. That's the only plausible explanation for this.
Come on now, stop being so delusional. He's already told me he doesn't want anything more to do with you. I don't blame him at all. No one wants a mother who treats her daughter-in-law in such a terrible way. Me and any normal person would do the same thing to you. You need to face the reality of this situation. There's no going back to how things were before. Your son finally knows how evil you are to Lily.
I don't want any part in this. I don't deserve to be punished any further. I'm not leaving, and you can't force me out of here. This is my home. I've lived here for so long, and I am never going to leave, no matter what. I'm not even going to open the front door. You can't make me come out of here.
Ah, I see. You're being so difficult with me, and now you leave me with no other choice. Now, if you really think about it, you should have figured something out by now, but I guess you just aren't smart enough to do that. You see, Eva, I don't have to break into your house to pry you out. Lily gave the keys to this house to me a while ago.
Huh? What are you saying?
I'm saying that I can come in anytime I want. What do you want to do with that information? You should also know that I'm furious with you for hurting my sister the way you did. You crossed a line you never should have crossed. I'm not into beating up old ladies. I'm a decent person. But as for you, I honestly don't know what I'd do if I saw your face.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you threatening me again?
But if you open the door and come out now, I might be a little less angry than I am. Do you understand? If you don't waste any more of my time, then just maybe I'll treat you with some level of respect. That is, only if you cooperate with me.
Okay, fine. You don't have to say it again. I understand you. I'm leaving now, okay? And if I do, you won't hurt me, correct?
Of course not. I'm a gentleman. I'm completely against violence, especially toward women.
Hey, stop. Please wait. You don't have to do this. Listen to me for a second.
No, you have to know how it feels to be drenched in freezing cold water just like what you did to Lily. Come on, get yourself under the waterfall. I brought you all the way up to these mountains for this moment. I won't waste my effort on nothing.
No, I don't want to. Please don't make me do this. It's too cold. It's in the middle of winter.
You're fine doing things like this to others, but now you can't handle it yourself? How pathetic can you be? You're such a cowardly scumbag. Aren't you even the least bit ashamed of how you've treated people?
Oh, so you can go under that freezing cold waterfall and drench yourself in it, can you? You're all talk. Do it if you want me to do the same. You're sitting in the warm car watching the waterfall from afar. Why don't you do it too if you're acting so tough?
Oh, of course I can handle it. I'm not afraid, though, so I don't mind at all.
Hey, what in the world is wrong with your brother? What's he trying to prove to me here? He's been standing under the waterfall for over 5 minutes now. Did he go crazy or something?
I think he's showing you how it's supposed to be done. He wants you to suffer as much as you made me suffer. He's that kind of person. He's always cared for me, and he has a strong sense for justice.
You're just going to leave that brat alone like this? You're helping him force me to go under that ice-cold waterfall. What is wrong with you? This is nothing but a legitimate kidnapping. You and your brother are criminals. Don't you see what you're doing right now?
There's not much I can do to stop him. When Jay gets like this, he can't be stopped by anyone. I didn't really want to help him with this plan either, because I didn't want to be a bother to him. But here he is now, punishing you for what you've done. Ever since I could remember, he's always been the one to help me when I can't stand up for myself.
I don't care about any of that. None of this excuses what's happening right now. This is crazy. Speaking of which, don't you guys have to make it to your sister's wedding ceremony? You should head there already and leave me alone.
Oh, about that. Stacy seems to have delayed the start of her wedding ceremony for us. She's aware of what's going on right now.
Huh? She delayed her own wedding just to leave time to punish me? Oh, it really couldn't wait for later. What on earth is wrong with you three lunatics? You're so serious about whatever you're plotting, and the lengths you're going to are insane.
Even though I'm the oldest sibling in our family, I'm the weakest out of all of them. I'm unreliable when I'm supposed to be the strongest. That's why in the end, Jay and Stacy are always the ones who end up helping me out, not the other way around. For once I wanted to solve this issue by myself this time, but in the end I couldn't. I haven't changed at all. I'm still just as pathetic.
Do you think I care about your little backstory? Because I don't. It doesn't help me in any way, so just shut up. Just let me leave already. Haven't you had your fill of this? Your brother's punished me enough with his threats.
Whether I'm satisfied with your consequences or not, Jay hasn't even done anything to you yet, so I'm not sure how to answer your question. Besides, even if you want to go back, where are you planning to go? Do you even have a plan? You should remember Peterson kicked you out from home.
Well, I don't know where to go or what to do now. I'm just as lost as you are.
Speaking of which, I talked to Peterson earlier, and we discussed the possibility of putting the house on the market. We won't be needing it anymore.
What? Putting it up for sale? How could you make a decision like that without consulting me? And where could I possibly live if you do that?
Even if the two of us live there, you already know exactly where our house is. I know that you'll try to cause trouble if that's the case. Plus, Peterson really doesn't want to have anything more to do with you, Eva. He's completely done with you.
Lies. Those are all lies. Peterson was always such a good boy. He wouldn't say such a thing. You're really telling me that he doesn't care about me anymore?
Oh, stepmother. Looks like Jay is finally finished sitting under the waterfall. I think it's your turn, Eva. You have to go under it too, just like Jay was doing.
Why? Why did I let things come to this? Oh, what have I done? Hey, what is this place? I thought you were going to drive me back home. What do you think you're doing? Don't you know that I'm freezing cold here? I think I'm catching a cold. Where did you take me, you brat?
This is a tailor shop. It's Lily's go-to store for her clothes. She always comes here to get them customized for her. In fact, she told me that she had a custom dress made here for Stacy's wedding. Despite that, it got completely soaked and ruined thanks to you. It won't dry in time, so Lily can't wear it to the wedding anymore. I brought you here so that you could compensate the damages you've caused her. Hope you have your wallet with you.
You want me to pay compensation? How much is it going to cost me to do that? What are we talking about here?
I'm not asking you to repair the dress. I'm asking you to buy Lily a new dress altogether. I told you she doesn't have anything to wear to the wedding after what happened, so you're going to replace it for her. Do you understand? It's a bit on the expensive side, but I don't think I'm being unreasonable, right? You'd better not complain about any of this.
I understand. You should have just asked for this from the start and left it at that. Why did you even take me to that freezing waterfall in the first place if this was your plan? Oh, you're ridiculous. More importantly, I need to change out of these wet clothes before I catch a serious cold. I'm not the only one who needs new clothes.
Then you better buy some from here. I'm not driving you all the way back home just so you can change. Plus, this place has been taking care of us ever since we were kids. The owners are good friends of ours. So drop some money here and make things right. Do you understand what you need to do?
Yeah, sure, that's a small price to pay compared to everything else. No problem, I'll take care of it. Hey, why on earth do I have to be a part of your sister's wedding ceremony, too? Ugh, I don't care about your sister's wedding at all. Why should I be dragged into this nonsense?
Oh, shut up already. Just zip your mouth and attend the ceremony like everyone else. I'm not giving you a choice here. The ceremony's almost over, so you better just sit tight and keep quiet. Do you understand? You'll be able to get out of here soon. Besides, what do you mean you have nothing to do with this? It's your daughter-in-law's wedding to begin with, so you should have been involved right from the start.
Oh, I guess there's not enough guests attending the wedding, so you just want to fill out some empty seats. That's why you're asking me to show up, just to add numbers and make the event look bigger, right?
Just sit down and stop complaining. You're already here, so stick through until the end.
Oh my gosh, what on earth is going on? What did you do? Why is this video up on the screen? It has nothing to do with the wedding.
It's your video from this morning. It's already in my hands, so I thought I'd go and show it to all the guests here. Stacy was so excited about getting revenge on you by doing this that she borrowed a projector just for this special moment. We both thought that we need to let everyone know what you did to Lily. They deserve to see what kind of monster you truly are.
If you do this to me, I'll be completely ruined. There is no coming back from this. How do I even explain myself?
I agree, you'd be finished. Not one person will trust you after this, but you deserve it, don't you? You know you've earned every bit of this, right? That's all I have to do for now. I've done everything I can to punish you so far. I'll leave the rest to my sister to handle.
What am I supposed to do from now on? I can't deal with this.
You'll live a solitary life, abandoned by everyone you know, even your friends and family, even Peterson. Only then will you realize the harm you've caused to Lily. You've done something so terrible that no one wants to be associated with you anymore.
Oh no. No. Oh, this can't be happening. What have I done?
Are you heading home, Eva? Isn't it a bit early for that? The wedding just ended and the reception hasn't begun yet.
Huh? What are you even asking? Of course I am. You really think I can continue to stay there after that video was shown to the public? That's impossible. You humiliated me. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Sorry, Jay is very thorough about everything he does, so there's no avoiding the consequences now. I'm honestly just glad you managed to get away with this much damage. That is, before things got even worse.
Oh, you can't even get back at people without relying on others to help you, right? You're incredibly weak. Aren't you embarrassed just watching your brother? Don't think you're all that just because he protected you while you were beyond helpless. You can't do anything on your own.
Well, I can't say that that isn't true. I don't have much to say to that.
Hey, Lily, don't you think that what your brother did went a little too far? I mean, don't you think that all of this was a bit too extreme?
Huh? What are you trying to say here?
You have to hear me out. I'm very sorry. I truly am. I'm full of nothing but regret for the terrible things I've done to you. I know it's too late, but I realize just now that I've done something very bad to you. But you have to know that I'm also feeling incredibly lonely because Peterson's been on such a long business trip abroad.
So? What do you mean by that, Eva? What does his business trip have to do with anything?
Please don't take my son away from me, I beg you. I can't handle losing Peterson, not at all. I'm going to be depressed if he leaves me. I'll say it again, I am beyond sorry for what I did to you. I know it was cruel and unforgivable, but I did that only because of the loneliness I felt without him around. You have to understand that.
So, what you're saying is that you want me to convince Peterson to reconcile with you? Is that right?
Yes, exactly. I've done so much for him over the years. I have slaved away to raise him and love him like he deserved, and I can't afford to lose him now. If I lose Peterson too, I'll be completely alone, and that's something I just can't bear. You wouldn't want that, would you? Surely you understand how painful that would be for me. Jay has really gone too far with all of this. He's crossed the line, and I assume you agree. Don't you think so too?
Stepmother, I'm going to be completely honest with you about what Jay has done. Regarding his actions, it could have been much worse than what actually happened. I'm honestly relieved that you got off this easily, Because it's him we're talking about. I was worried that he was going to do much more to you.
Are you kidding me right now? You thought what he did to me wasn't enough?
What I'm saying is, I don't think he did too much. His actions are completely justified. I even think it's only natural that Peterson wants to break off the relationship with you after everything that's happened. I, too, no longer want anything to do with you. I don't see a future with you in our lives, and I don't consider you my mother-in-law any longer.
Wait a minute, then how am I supposed to live? What am I going to do now? I don't even have a job. How can I survive without Peterson? He's been taking care of me for years.
Oh, that reminds me, I fully intend to sue you for what you've done to me, so you better be prepared to go through with this.
What? You're going to sue me? Are you serious?
Yes, why wouldn't I be? I have video evidence of what you did, and I want you to face legal consequences. You've gotten away with abuse for too long. Please keep in mind what I'm going to do, because I am determined to see this through to the end.
What the? You used to be such a feeble-minded coward, but now you've gotten completely carried away.
Yes, perhaps I'm acting differently now, but after seeing the cooperation between Jay and Stacy today to punish you, I realized something. I need to be strong and stand up for myself no matter how hard it might be. I won't be weak-minded anymore.
Hey, I am telling you, I really won't be able to live like this. I have nobody. Everybody important to me has abandoned me. Come on, how in the world am I supposed to carry on from day to day? I have no idea what to do anymore.
I'm not sure, Eva. Why do you expect me to be? It's not my problem anyway. We're over with. Oh, I know. Why don't you just hire a housekeeper to take care of things for you? Jay, thank you so much for everything you did for me today. I don't know how I could have managed without you. I'm also beyond grateful to Stacy for going out of her way to delay the ceremony just for me.
Of course, don't worry one bit about it, Lily. We did what we wanted to do. It was our choice, and we're glad we could help. Well, I did hear that delaying the ceremony caused a lot of trouble for the guests, though.
Oh, I knew it. I'm so sorry about that. I'm such a pathetic sister, always causing issues for everyone around me.
There it is again. You always say that, don't you?
Because it's true, isn't it? I'm the eldest, but I'm always the one getting help from you two. Even when I was younger, I could never do anything that truly made me feel like a dependable older sister.
What are you talking about? You were the one who taught us how to study for every single exam we had in school. You were also the one to pull me back home when I was a rebellious teenager getting into fights. Plus, remember when you helped Stacy pay for her university tuition by working part-time and saving up money? You did all of that for us. You supported us way more than you actually realize.
Really?
Yep. That's why when you're in trouble, we want to help you in return, just like you've helped us in the past. There are certain things that people aren't naturally suited for, and that's okay. It's exactly why we support each other. For example, I can do the things that you might struggle with because of your more sensitive and gentle temperament. And Stacy is sociable and great at negotiating, which is why she was able to delay the start of the ceremony. That's what family is for, to help each other out like this when we're in need.
Jay, that means so much to me.
So you shouldn't ever think of yourself as pathetic. You're quite the opposite, and you've done so much for us. You can continue to rely on us. We'll always be here for you, no matter what you're facing. And when we need to depend on you, we trust that you'll be there to support us, too. You shouldn't act like a stranger to us. Depend on us instead, because we're family.
Thank you, Jay. I guess I was pushing myself too hard and forgot that I could count on you. You know, Peterson told me the same thing. He asked me why I don't rely on him at all.
Ah, did he really? Well, it can feel really lonely when the people you love don't depend on you. So from now on, let's continue to help each other out. We're family. It's what we're supposed to do. Don't you forget that Stacy and I are proud to call you our sister, okay?
Eva was evicted from her house and left without a place to stay. She's been surviving by working day jobs and has somehow managed to make ends meet. I also ordered her to pay a large sum of compensation for what she's done to me. Now she's burdened with this massive debt with no way out for her anytime soon. In addition, she's lost the trust and love of her beloved son, Peterson. I'm told she's now wandering through life aimlessly in despair. Meanwhile, Peterson and I have sold the house we were living in and moved to a neighboring town together. After his business trip abroad, we've started our new life without Eva, happily living together. I've always been very cautious in my relationships with my siblings over the years, but after everything that's happened, we've developed a relationship where we can depend on each other without so much worry. I will admit, though, that some things have changed because of that. For instance, I treated them to a barbecue joint to thank them, and they couldn't stop ordering food. By the end, I was shocked at how big the bill was. Despite the pricey meal, I'm now living an incredibly happy life with my wonderful husband and close-knit siblings.
Hey, Hannah, I wanted to talk to you about something. Do you think you could maybe become a little bit more, how can I say this, interesting?
More interesting? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that.
It's just, I've been thinking lately, you're a super mature, smart, responsible, strong, independent girl, and I really like that about you. But at the same time, if we're gonna get married, that means we're gonna be together forever, right? And if I'm gonna be with someone for the rest of my life, I'd rather she be someone who's more fun to be around. You get what I'm saying?
No, I really don't. But as much as I don't want to think this is the case, are you trying to tell me that you're having second thoughts about getting married to me?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Jeez, Hannah, relax a little, will ya? You don't need to get so negative all the time. But I was thinking about my ex-girlfriend the other day, and I couldn't help but compare the two of you. One of the biggest differences between you is that she is way more interesting than you are.
Okay, well, that isn't exactly the sort of thing I want to hear from the man I'm going to be marrying in just a few days. If that's how you feel, why don't you marry your ex-girlfriend instead of me?
There you go again. I told you that's not what I'm saying. Take a deep breath, okay? Me and Shawnee broke up. It's over between us. She's married to another guy now. We're just friends now. I happen to like our relationship better now than back when we were dating. I'm not interested in marrying her anymore, okay? Remember, you're the one that I proposed to, so have a little more confidence in yourself.
If that's true, then why are you bringing up your ex-girlfriend right now? Worse, why are you comparing me to her and asking me to be more like her?
Look, you're virtually the perfect woman. You've got it all. You're gorgeous, you've got a great figure, you have a successful career, your family's loaded. Seriously, you're a way different type of woman than all my past girlfriends. If you just had this one thing, then you wouldn't be virtually perfect, you'd just be perfect.
I guess I can understand where you're coming from. But if it's so important to you that the woman you spend your life with is interesting, then maybe I'm not the person you should spend your life with.
No. You are definitely the girl for me. All I'm saying is that I wish you would be a little bit more interesting. What do you say, Hannah? Do you think you could maybe work on that portion of your personality a little bit?
I'm not really sure what to say. I mean, my personality is a result of the life I've lived up until now. I don't know if it's really possible to change it at will like you want me to. Not to mention, I don't even know what you mean by interesting. It's a pretty abstract concept. Can you be more specific?
I guess you wouldn't really get it, would you? I don't know, I guess I mean like having a better sense of humor? I think the only way I can make you understand is to show you what I mean. I'll think about a good way to show you. Give me some time, okay?
Our wedding's in just a few days, so I question the timing here. But, okay, I'll give you time.
Hey, where'd you go, Hannah? Come on, you can't really be that sad, can you? I mean, you just started crying your eyes out and darted out of the room. Didn't you like the surprise? It was hilarious. I mean, the groom's ex-girlfriend smashing a piece of cake into the bride's face? It's comic genius.
What the hell were you thinking, you complete moron?
What? You want me to give you a lecture on the comedic thought process? It's pretty simple, really. It's like a satirical revenge scene. You know, how dare you take my man away from me? Get it?
Oh, I get it just fine, but you, however, don't seem to get it at all. Do you really have no idea what you've done? Shut up! Go and get that imbecile ex-girlfriend of yours and come to Hannah's dressing room immediately! You've got a lot of apologizing to do.
What the? Why are you talking in third person? And why do you want me to come to your dressing room? Oh, I get it. You don't want to wait until tonight, huh? Nice. I'll be right there.
You bumbling moron, this isn't Hannah! This is your father speaking! Hannah's not in any condition to be talking to a foul little creep like you right now! That's why I'm dealing with you, so she doesn't have to! Now, stop whatever you're doing, grab Shawnee, and get over here this instant!
Oh my God! Dad? Is that really you? But I thought you were still in the chapel. Don't tell me you actually ran after Hannah.
Of course I did. Someone had to undo the damage you did. If you're not here within the next 60 seconds, I'm going to drag you here myself.
Hannah, I am so sorry for what happened at the wedding. I never thought you would have reacted like that. But once I saw how mad my dad was, it became crystal clear to me how badly I messed up. So, won't you please forgive me?
Never! We were never meant to be together, right from the beginning. I see that now. The wedding is canceled, our engagement is canceled, we are canceled. I am done with you. Forever. It's just like I told you at the wedding.
I know that's what you said. I'm trying to get you to change your mind. I feel really bad about what I did.
What happened to comic genius, huh? Honestly, what is wrong with you? How could you ever have thought that was funny? You have an appalling lack of common sense, not to mention common decency. It wasn't bar night with your buddies. It wasn't a comedy podcast. It wasn't a prank video. It was our wedding. I spent all morning getting my hair and makeup just right, and then at the very beginning of the wedding, you get your ex-girlfriend to come up to me and smash a piece of our wedding cake into my face? I know you probably didn't notice, but while you were busy laughing your full head off, everyone in the room was paralyzed in shock. Even Shawnee started to back away sheepishly once she saw everyone's reaction. There was no one laughing but you.
But it was funny. I've been laughing my head off the last few days just imagining it. Don't you remember what we talked about a few days ago? I told you I'd show you what I meant by having a sense of humor. I talked with Shawnee about a joke we could pull off at the wedding. That was the idea we came up with.
Wow, Matthew, every single text that you send me only makes you look like even more of an insensitive jerk. You thought that was funny? What about all the people in the room, huh? Did you think about how they would feel? Did you think my parents would appreciate that? Think about it. It's their daughter's big day, the moment that they've been waiting for all her life. And then she gets humiliated by her own fiancé? Did you really think they'd find that funny?
Well, yeah.
My God in heaven, if you really thought that would be funny, then you should go marry someone who agrees with you. You said Shawnee was already married, didn't you? Well, isn't that a shame? Maybe you could go and talk to her husband and convince him to divorce her for you.
Hannah, please, I am in super big trouble. I had no idea that your dad had agreed to make a massive investment in my dad's company. No one ever told me about that.
Yeah, I was in the same boat as you. I didn't know either. Apparently, this was all decided in secret somewhat recently. They didn't want to influence our relationship with their business dealings, so they never told us about it. I'll bet your father never would have guessed you'd go and do something as boneheaded as this, though.
My dad is scary mad at me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he disowns me as his son at this rate.
Oh yeah? Well, that sounds like a great plan to me. I hope he cuts you off completely.
Please, don't talk like that. You don't understand. I'm in danger of becoming completely isolated from my family. I told you that I was going to take over my dad's company for him someday, right? I've been working my entire life in order to make that happen. If my dad kicks me out, all that hard work would have been for nothing. So please, Hannah, please.
I don't see any reason why I should swallow my pride, cope with the shame, and marry you just to save your future. What's in it for me? I would only be condemning myself to a lifetime of misery.
No, you won't have to worry about that. I swear, I'll make you the happiest woman in the entire world.
I don't believe a single word you say. It's all just a bunch of noise with zero substance.
I'm telling you, that's not true. I really do feel bad about what I did. I promise you, if you marry me, you will never regret it.
My mind is made up, Matthew. We're through. Oh, and since your stupid little prank is what ruined the wedding, then I'll be charging you for the full cost. You had better start saving money now because it's going to be a pretty massive bill. My oh my, isn't this an interesting development? It seems Shawnee's husband is a bit upset at her. He even hired a private detective, so he's got all the photographic evidence that he needs to prove his case. I have to say, considering the way you've been acting, I'm not entirely surprised to find out what was going on. You two have been hard at work betraying our trust.
I have no idea how this happened. Whenever she came to meet me, she always told him that she was going to hang out with her friends. I thought there was no way he would ever find out.
If you were so afraid of him finding out, I think it's a good sign that you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. To be fair, though, I was starting to get pretty suspicious myself. I was just about to go out and find a private detective for myself.
Wait, seriously?
Yep, but Shawnee's husband saved me the expense. He even did me the favor of sending a copy of all the evidence the detective gathered. You're an even bigger scumbag than I thought.
Hey, this doesn't concern you anymore. You didn't notice while we were together, and we had already broken up by the time you found out. And I'm already paying you for the wedding, right? So just back off.
Do you think I want to have to deal with this? Shawnee's husband's lawyer called me the other day. He says that he's going to subpoena me for information about what you've been up to. Haven't you caused me enough trouble as it is? Now I'm getting dragged into a divorce battle between your mistress and her husband.
You're right. I'm sorry.
All you ever did was talk about your ex-girlfriend and how I compared to her. You even worked together with her on a plan to humiliate me at our wedding. I'd love nothing more than to never have to speak to you again. But now I'm gonna have to get a lawyer and be deposed because of you. Well, guess what? You're gonna pay for that too.
No, Hannah, don't do that. I'm already getting squeezed dry as things stand. Not to mention the stress from my life coming crashing down around me is overwhelming.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? You expected sympathy for your stress? How can you still be thinking about no one else but yourself? You had your fun at others' expense, and now the bill is coming due. You cheated on me, emotionally abused me, and humiliated me at our wedding. You disappointed your parents immensely, and even did massive damage to your dad's business. How do you think your victims all feel right now? I guarantee we're under a lot more stress than you. Except in our case, we're not responsible for what's happening to us. You are.
I told you I'm sorry.
Save it. I don't want your apologies. Now, my lawyer is going to send you a bill. It's going to cover the wedding, his legal fees for my deposition, and a healthy amount of punitive damages for my emotional pain and suffering. The number on that bill is going to be lower than I could demand from you. If you even think about blowing me off, I will file a formal lawsuit against you and completely destroy you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Hi there, Hannah. It's me, Shawnee. I wanted to tell you how sorry I am for everything. My relationship with Matthew, the wedding, I am really sorry for everything. Shawnee, what do you want? I think you know that I'd rather not speak to you unless it's absolutely necessary. Just so you don't get any ideas, no, I will never forgive you or Matthew for anything. Trust me, I know. I wasn't expecting you to forgive me. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't forgive me either. I talked to Matthew and I told him that since I was just as much at fault as he is, then I'm going to pay for half of whatever he has to pay you. Oh, well, isn't that generous of you? I suppose that is only fair, seeing as how it's both of your faults that my relationship ended and my wedding was ruined. I'll be carrying the trauma from that with me for the rest of my life. No amount of money can change that. Honestly, if I had known you would be paying half, I would have demanded more from him. I know, Hannah. I deserve everything I'm getting right now. You can say that again. Your husband's divorcing you, huh? Good. You deserve to have your marriage broken up for what you did to mine. Whatever happens to you and my scumbag ex from this point on is no concern of mine. My only request is that no matter what consequences you suffer, that you suffer quietly and don't bother me ever again. I totally understand how you feel. For the record, I won't be speaking to Matthew ever again either. Huh. Is that so? What a waste. You went and ruined two people's marriages all for your selfish pleasure, and now you're breaking up? Your husband told me the other day that you were crying and begging him not to divorce you when he showed you the evidence of your affair. What a pathetic, miserable little creature you are. Hannah, I know this may not mean much coming from me, but however poorly you think of me right now, I feel much worse about myself. I'm ashamed of the person that I've allowed myself to become. And I know this isn't going to make up for anything I've done, but if you'll give me just a moment of your time, there's something that I thought you should know. I feel like I'm gonna puke every time you send me a message, so whatever you have to say, make it very quick.
Hannah, please, I'm begging you. You have to help me. There's no one else I can turn to but you. Please, Hannah, please, I'll do anything you want, but you have to save me.
I was wondering when I'd be hearing from you. I guess your dad was pretty upset when he found out, huh?
I can't believe it. Were you and Shawnee in on this together? I thought you hated her. Why would you team up against me like this?
Me? Team up with her? Give me a break. I would sooner team up with Jack the Ripper than that harlot. All she did was provide me with some useful information, which I used for my benefit.
What did you possibly stand to benefit? You're just being cruel at this point. I was already gonna get cut off by my dad, and all my family hated my guts. But then my dad calls me out of the blue today, says he wants me to come over to the house. I was thinking maybe he cooled off and was gonna let me back into the family again. But instead, I got attacked from behind by his security guards, and they locked me in one of his company's warehouses. Why is this happening?
You know why. It's because you just can't keep your pants on. It was bad enough that you were cheating on me with your ex-girlfriend, but you were cheating on me with a lot more women than just her.
Shawnee was risky because she was married, but all the other girls were single. I never thought I'd get caught. And to think that Shawnee would go out of her way to tell you about it? She doesn't have the right to screw me like this. She's just as guilty as I am.
Shawnee sure is an interesting woman, Matthew. Even as her life slides deeper and deeper down into an abyss of misery, she still has the wherewithal to grab you by the leg and drag you down deeper. That takes a lot of guts, and I'm impressed, really. You two are both incredibly adept at screwing up other people's lives. I can see why you liked her.
She didn't have anything to gain from telling you. It's not like she's in any less trouble now. My God, that woman is the worst.
I know, it was completely out of spite. Isn't that hilarious? There she was in the middle of getting reamed out by her husband for cheating on him, and then she willingly brings up the prank you two pulled on me at the wedding. Isn't it incredible what someone with nothing left to lose is willing to do? Thanks to that, her husband only got angrier at you, not her. I mean, what else could he do to her besides divorce her? So then he started digging into you to get more information that he could use against you, and boy, did he ever find it.
Hannah, I'm on my knees over here. I know I screwed up. I did absolutely terrible things to you, my parents, and a lot of other people. But you have to do something about this.
Something as in...
If you forgive me and marry me like we planned, then I'm 100% sure that my dad will forgive me too. Well, maybe 50% sure? After you sent the private detective's report to my dad, my chances dropped pretty hard.
I had to make sure that you would face the consequences, Matthew. You have caused so much trouble for me. After the wedding, I had to get deposed by Shawnee's husband's lawyer, get my own lawyer, bill you for all the costs. And now I have to personally see to it that your dad punishes you properly for your horrible behavior. Ugh. What was I thinking when I accepted your proposal? If I could go back in time, I think I would go back to the day you and I met and punch myself in the face.
Hannah, I am very aware that I did wrong by you, and I swear to God that I will do anything that you ask of me, literally anything. But please, for the love of God, you have to save me from my dad. If you don't do something, then he's gonna have me fixed.
Fixed? You mean...
Yeah, fixed as in snip, snip.
Wait, seriously? Awesome. Those two little danglers are the source of 99% of your problems and mine, aren't they? Chopping them off seems like the best possible solution to me. Wow, your dad is a really interesting guy. Why was a guy as boring as you surrounded by so many interesting people?
How can you be making fun of me at a time like this? You know what's about to happen to me.
Yeah, and I'm going to enjoy every second of it. Can you call me and put the phone on speaker while they're doing it? No pictures, though. Please, God, no pictures. And it's not like you have any choice in the matter. What's happening to you now is the consequences of being unfaithful. You weren't just unfaithful to me, you were unfaithful to the women you were being unfaithful to me with. That's why Shawnee was so willing to deal with all the vitriol I threw her way and tell me about all your other girlfriends.
I know, I'm a jerk, a creep, a total loser, and I'll do anything you want. You can't just sit by and let me get fixed. If that happens, I'll never be able to get married. You know how much I want kids, right? And you want kids too, right? We can get back together and have kids, a bunch of kids, thousands of kids, as many as you want.
That was before I found out what a vile, putrid, disgusting man you really were. Honestly, I don't think you deserve to pass on your inferior genes to the next generation. Once your dad's done with you, how about becoming a crazy cat lady?
For God's sakes, Hannah, you have to do something. I've learned my lesson, trust me. I'll never mess around with other women again. I'll never talk to another woman for as long as I live. I'll never even look at them. I know that I hurt you really bad, and I'm never gonna hurt you again. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life making it up to you.
You want to make it up to me? Okay, here's what you can do. Get fixed, become homeless, and spend the rest of your life begging for cash in a falsetto tone. Then set up a live stream so I can tune in to hear your high-pitched cries for help. Whenever I need a laugh, I could always watch that scream and revel in your misery.
Anna, you were never this much of a sadist before. What happened to you?
You happened to me, Matthew. You did.
I know, but don't you get it? I'm terrified. I don't know what's gonna happen to me now.
Neither do I, but I hope it's as painful as possible.
Is there really nothing I can do to get you to forgive me?
That's right. Absolutely nothing. You know, I changed my mind. I think the best thing that can happen to me is for you to be as far away from me as possible. So I'll have your dad send you to some isolated third world hellhole. When I think about it, he's a victim of your escapades too. Maybe I'll tell him that if he cooperates, that I'll get my dad to invest in his company after all. I bet that would convince him.
Please, don't do that!
It's either that or snip snip. Make your choice.
I'll take the third world hellhole.
As you wish. I have to thank you, Matthew. You were right, I was a bit of a stiff before, wasn't I? But thanks to you, I've had more fun in the last few days than I have had in the last few years. You told me that you were going to teach me to have a sense of humor, and you totally kept your promise. Matthew kept on bugging me after that, so I eventually blocked his number. The next thing I did was go to my dad, who was still freshly angry about what happened at the wedding. He went to Matthew's dad and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. My dad would make an investment in his company, albeit smaller than the original amount, in exchange for sending Matthew to a remote wasteland. And just like that, Matthew was on a plane the very next day to a factory run by an acquaintance in a country with, less than stellar human rights. And that's where Matthew will remain for the foreseeable future, working himself to the bone for chicken feed. Matthew's dad did allow him phone privileges, so he uses his one phone call a week to call his dad, telling him how miserable he is and begging to be allowed to come home. So, congratulations to Matthew. He succeeded in giving me a sense of humor. Unfortunately for him, that sense of humor is primarily fueled by Schadenfreude.